Well, guys, man, I'm here to tell you, man, these Cleveland Brown fans, man, they're going crazy, man, in the city of Cleveland, man. After the Cleveland Browns dropped their season opener to the Cincinnati Bengals, 17-16, and there's a lot of fans showing their frustration with Kevin Stefanski and Joe Flacco. Now we all see what unfolded. We all see what unfolded in that game, and it seems like Cleveland Browns can't get out their own way as an organization. They can't get out of the way as a team, man. They always finding ways to lose. Comes to the kicking game.
The Cleveland Browns just got embarrassed 17-6 by the Bengals, and their fans are absolutely losing it on social media, demanding one thing: get Shedeur Sanders in there now. While 40-year-old Joe Flacco threw two costly interceptions and Kevin Stefanski made excuses about playing cleaner, Browns fans flooded Twitter with one message: start Shedeur Sanders. But here's the thing nobody's talking about. This fifth-round pick might actually be the answer to Cleveland's prayers, and the organization is sitting on a gold mine while watching their season slip away. What happened in that locker room after this disaster, and why are insiders saying Shedeur's time might come sooner than anyone expected?
To come away with a loss in that game, you know, can't be -2 versus a good football team, and that's really the story of the football game. You know, tip balls, and we got to play cleaner. Now, there's 1,000 things that we can do better from a coaching staff, from a player standpoint, but we have to do a better job securing that rock. We obviously missed a field goal, missed an extra point. Those are points in these type of games that you have to come away with. So, you know, it hurts, and you don't when you feel like you're doing some good things. Now, having said that, you have a division game next week. Right back at it. So this team understands that these hurt, but we'll learn from it. We'll watch the tape. We'll recommit to the thing and understand that we have to do a better job in a bunch of different areas. But really proud of a lot of the performance from these guys. Proud of effort from these guys. But it's just frustrating not to ultimately go out there. Frustrating not to come away with a win.
Look, I'm going to be real with you. What we witnessed in Cleveland wasn't just a loss. It was a complete organizational meltdown. And the fans? They're not having it anymore. You've got a defense that played lights out, giving Flacco every opportunity to win this game. And what does he do? He throws it away. Literally. But let me tell you what's really going on behind the scenes, because this story runs way deeper than just one bad game. Sources close to the organization are telling me that the locker room is starting to ask questions. When you've got a 40-year-old quarterback throwing 45 times and only averaging 6.4 yards per completion, that's not a game plan. That's desperation. And here's where it gets interesting. Shedeur Sanders has been quietly watching all of this unfold. You think a guy with his pedigree, his football IQ, isn't taking notes? While Dillon Gabriel was throwing pick sixes in preseason, Shedeur was protecting the football even when he got sacked 5 times against the Rams. That's the difference between a game manager and a game changer, the Browns fans on Twitter weren't just venting after this loss. They were sending a message. Why didn't the head coach have a few plays for Sanders and Gabriel? They are young and can run the ball for 2 yards. Everybody knows Flacco can't run. That's not just frustration talking. That's football intelligence from people who watch this team every Sunday. Think about this. Joe Flacco completed 31 of 45 passes for 290 yards. Sounds decent on paper, right? Wrong. When you break it down, that's a lot of short, safe throws that aren't moving the needle. Meanwhile, you've got Shedeur Sanders sitting on the bench, a guy who's proven he can make the big throws, manage the pocket under pressure, and most importantly, protect the football.
Now, you heard what Kevin Stefanski had to say. You know, he was frustrated himself, and he said, man, we have to clean up a lot of things, man. And he was really alluding to, you know, the turnovers. The turnovers, man, you got to secure the ball. He said, we got to play cleaner. But, you know, I'm getting word from multiple sources, man, out there in Cleveland, man. They want change, man. They want Kevin Stefanski and this organization to turn over the keys to the young guys, man. To let the young guys ball out, man. Joe Flacco is 40 years old, man. That ship has sailed, man. Now you're going into next week against the Baltimore Ravens, and that's another tough game. And the way the Cleveland Browns played today, they had all the opportunities to win the game, man. But Joe Flacco failed to get the job done, man. 2 costly turnovers, man. You got to move the ball and you got to secure the ball. Cleveland Browns defense played lights out. They gave Joe Flacco on the offense all the ammunition to win this game. Yeah, you missed the extra point on the TD, but at the same time, man, Joe Flacco throwing the ball 45 times, 290 yards, but it goes to show that nothing's going downfield. It's all dip and dunk. Average 6.4 yards, per reception, man, on 290 yards, in the air. And you threw the ball 45 times. You were 31 to 45, man.
Here's what Kevin Stefanski said after the game. And listen to this carefully because it tells you everything you need to know about where this organization's head is at. I thought he saw it well. Got the ball to the correct people a lot of the time. Really, Kevin? 2 interceptions is seeing it well, but the fans aren't buying it anymore. One Browns supporter summed it up perfectly. Start Shedeur Sanders. The Browns always find a way to lose, and you need a winning mentality. And that's what Shedeur Sanders brings to the table, is a winning mentality. And that right there is the crux of this whole situation. It's not just about arm strength or mobility, though Shedeur has both. It's about that championship mindset, that clutch gene that you can't teach. You either have it or you don't. And after what we saw from Flacco against Cincinnati, it's clear he doesn't have it anymore. That let's talk about those 2 costly interceptions. Because this is where the conversation gets real interesting. The first one, okay, maybe you can live with that. Things happen. But that second pick, that was the game right there. Late in the fourth quarter, opportunity to either win it or at least get into field goal range, and Flacco throws it low and away. The receiver can't get under it. Ball tips up, easy interception for the defense. Now imagine Shedeur Sanders in that same situation. We've seen him in pressure moments at Colorado. We've seen him make the throws that matter when everything's on the line. That's not rookie mistake territory. That's veteran composure in a young man's body. The Browns organization keeps saying Shedeur most likely won't play this year unless things change. Well, guess what? Things are changing fast. When your starting quarterback is 40 years old and throwing away winnable games, when your backup has already shown he's turnover-prone in preseason, maybe it's time to see what the emergency quarterback can really do. That here's what nobody's talking about, though. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a 5th-round pick. That draft position doesn't define his talent level, and everyone in that building knows it. This is a 1st to 2nd-round talent who fell because of circumstances, not ability. The Browns got a steal, and now their fans are begging them to actually use it. You want to know what's really frustrating Cleveland right now? It's watching opportunity after opportunity slip away because the coaching staff won't make the obvious move. Their defense held the Bengals to 17 points. That should be enough to win, especially at home. But when you're asking a 40-year-old to carry the entire offensive load, you're setting yourself up for exactly what happened. The social media reaction tells the whole story. God help the Browns, and Judy is our #1 receiver. That's not confidence talking. That's a fan base that knows they're wasting talent while clinging to the past. And here's the kicker. Literally, they missed an extra point and a field goal in a game they lost by 11. Every point matters in the NFL, but when you can't count on your aging quarterback to not throw the game away, those missed kicks become backbreakers. But let's flip this script for a minute, because there's another side to this story that has me thinking the Browns might be onto something bigger than anyone realizes. What if this whole situation is exactly what Shedeur Sanders needs? Think about it. No pressure, no expectations, just pure opportunity when it comes. The kid's been watching, learning, studying how NFL defenses operate. When his number gets called, and after this performance, it's not if, but when, he's going to be ready in ways that most rookies never are. That's the advantage of being the emergency quarterback. You get to see everything without having to carry the burden. Cleveland fans are smart. They see what's happening. Quarterback Flacco, still throwing costly interceptions, has not been able to run out of the pocket for critical NFL yardage pickup. That's not just criticism, that's analysis. These fans know football, and they know what they're seeing isn't sustainable. The writing's on the wall here. You've got Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman dropping catchable balls, a kicking game that can't be trusted, and a quarterback who's playing not to lose instead of playing to win. That's a recipe for disaster in this league. But imagine this same offense with Shedeur Sanders under center. Suddenly you've got a guy who can extend plays with his legs, who has the arm strength to push the ball downfield, who brings that championship mentality that this organization desperately needs. The pieces are there, they just need the right conductor. The Browns are about to face the Baltimore Ravens next week. Another tough divisional game, another test of whether this team can actually compete or if they're just going through the motions. If Flacco struggles again, if those turnovers keep coming, how long can Stefanski really ignore what his own fans are screaming for? Here's my prediction, and you can bookmark this. Shedeur Sanders is going to play meaningful minutes this season. Maybe not next week, maybe not the week after, but it's coming. And when it happens, Cleveland is going to remember this moment as the turning point they've been waiting for since they came back into the league. The question isn't whether Shedeur can handle NFL pressure. The question is whether the Browns organization can handle the pressure from their own fan base to make the move everyone knows needs to happen. So what do you think? Are the Browns wasting precious time with Flacco, or should they stick with experience while Shedeur develops? And more importantly, if you were Kevin Stefanski right now, with the fans calling for change and the season on the line, what would you do? Drop your thoughts below because this conversation is just getting started, and something tells me we're about to see some major changes in Cleveland real soon. The Browns are at a crossroads, and their fans have made their choice crystal clear. The only question now is whether the organization will listen before it's too late. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because when Shedeur Sanders finally gets his shot, and trust me, he will, you're going to want to be here for all the analysis and reactions. This story is far from over.